All right, all right, all right. Looks like we are now live with Piponomics. I'm so happy that you guys are able to tune in with us today. We are here to trade live together and teach you the fundamentals of trading. I'm super excited to have you all involved. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And we're going to get right away started because we got 3 minutes to market opening, and I want to get in on some of the fun. So today we're just going to focus on a few of our favorites, and that is some of the indices, and then I'm going to work myself down to go, and I'm even going to do a couple of regular pairs today. And all I'm doing right now is I'm mapping out what direction is the market already moving in? Because it's already moving. It's already filled what? Not one, but 2 of our boxes. Okay, so look how accurate that is. If you were in it, you would have tapped out right at this level because it filled the top of that box. And that's exactly what you want to see when you are mapping out. Now, why did I go all the way up to show you that piece of information? Because now I'm going to measure that box so that I can predict its move down. Okay, now if it continues to go this direction, it's so easy just to create another box and stack it on top of that. But because it looks like, based on some of my EMAs here, that it might have hit a reversal point, I'm also going to track if it goes the opposite direction, Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another box, clone, and I'm going to stack that box, and I am going to measure that box. I'm going to measure it. I'm going to determine where the 80% is at of that box. Green line. I'm going to understand where my stop loss is at if I had gotten in and it decided to go the opposite direction. I'm also going to determine where my take profit would be at. Okay, so what we're looking for is in this box, okay, for us to continue buying. Okay, now we see there's some resistance. This is what this red box means, resistance. It's a part of my program, and it just mapped out what area price had a difficult time breaking through before, and it's that area. Okay, now can it break through? Yes, absolutely. Resistance and support is always made to be broken through, but a lot of times you will get rejection. So we just wanted to know where that's at. Now, how would I play this? Well, if it continues to rise, right, I'm going to look for an entry upon close of candle over green line, and I'm going to look for a buy. Okay, I'm going to be looking for a buy if it comes up here and the chunk, not a wick. Okay, because wick is already done that, but a chunk. I'm looking for a chunk to close of that candle, to close over that green line for me to feel comfortable enough to buy upward. Okay. And then because it's already grabbed our 80%, now we can also look for a reversal. Now, because this reversal has already taken place, yes, it has, because it's already pulled back and it grabbed all of our liquidity, all of our take profit possibility, all in one setting, all in one candle. Okay, that one candle went, swiped liquidity, came right back down and took profit. So this is now a no play zone because it's already played itself out. And I think a lot of people forget that, I mean, honestly, if you do it again, if you want to ride this play again, this box is completed. If you want to ride this play again, it's very dangerous because it's already played out. I mean, it's done. So this, however, this box, entry upon close of candle over red line for a sell. Okay, this one has not played out, And there is a TP waiting for color coding, right? TP of the next red line. So there's a TP here. So this is a possibility, but we will have to wait for candles to close over. And you can see that that kind of happened, and you could have jumped in, but you would have lost one because of that that piercing candle formation. Like it's a pattern, okay, where there's one candle, one color, and the next candle, the next color, and the candle you're following to want to get in for a sale, it opens up and it starts to buy. You want to forget about it. You want to forget about it. And how do you forget about it? Well, one, you're not putting in buy stops and sell limits at this area, but you're looking. You're looking, and then you're planning your entry. And entry comes along with going to the lower time frames and seeing if it rises up right away before it continues to drop down. That's a red flag. You just have to get used to seeing that because it happens all the time, and which is the reason why I know don't just jump in just because you see the first confirmation of a body of a candle closing over one of these lines, but to wait a few minutes, determine if it is a good situation, given that, hey, this now is green and it went up versus continually went down. So this box again has been completed because it also went up, it went down, and you have no more space to do anything with because it will be very risky and you can lose a lot of money if it continues to go against your trading plan. And you always want to stick with a trading plan. That's rule number one. Rule number one. Okay, so that's NAS. And honestly, what do I do if I just want to, go on and look at something else? Well, I'm going to set a little alert. I'm just going to put in my signals where I would like to look at. And then I just leave myself a message, sell opportunity. And it will alert me once price of that candle breaks over that line. And then I can check back and see what exactly is it doing, wait for that 15-minute interval to pass, and then decide what's next. I've saved a lot of money by doing it that way. Okay. Buy opportunity. So all I did was encase it in so I can go on and move on to the next. Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been getting a lot of play lately. And I actually I was Bitcoin rich. Let me just tell you that I was, because I read the charts, I was able to pull my money out right before the big drop, and I was able to capitalize on that $56,000. It went all the way up to what, $60,000 plus $1,000. And I was able to see that it was coming to a standstill, or that times were changing and that market structure was going to play a part. So because of that, I was able to capitalize, pull some of that money out, live real good, pay off debts, student loans, credit cards. We traveled Hawaii. We did a lot of stuff. It was a great 3 years because that's exactly how long I lived off of that money. And then now I'm starting to build my reservoir back up. Why? Because things are changing. Money is really switching hands. It's going out of the bank's hands. It's going into cyberspace. And I'm going to go more into that later on after our session. Well, not even after our session, but after our live trading session, because I just want to get in on some of the plays and see what's happening. So after I mark up some of my charts, we can go back and then talk about what's happening in the finance world when it comes to some of these stocks of the banks, right? Because they're failing, they're breaking down. There's something else coming out with the currency for United States called Fed Now. I think I encourage everybody to look that up because there's a lot of information that's not being said. What's going to happen? Is it going to be catastrophic? What is it going to affect? But one thing I'm for sure is that Bitcoin, Ethereum, a lot of these cryptocurrencies are here to stay. So I'm going to continue to build my reservoir up, and really, I encourage everyone to build their reservoir up when it comes to cryptocurrency. I am a strong believer that it does have a part to play. I've used it plenty of times in different transactions, and I can, they have bunkers. I mean, army bunkers protecting cryptocurrencies, like boatloads of them. So we'll leave someone else because it's very important too. So all I'm doing here is I'm encasing, and then all I want to know is, hey, is Bitcoin going to buy situation? Put in my buy opportunity. And then what, possibility at this point is not ready to buy upward, but to sell. And then that would be 227.2. And the reason why it has to go down there and I'm not enclosing any of my red lines is because it hasn't yet hit liquidity. It has to go and grab that 80% line, that green line, before I can even consider playing the red lines. So remember that, put that in your arsenal, because honestly, you will get faked out if you don't have that piece of information. So until the candlesticks come up here, hit this green line, I have no play for these red lines. There's nothing I can do about it. But I do want to see it come. And then remember what those yellow lines mean. Those yellow lines mean Mondays. And because we are used to the blue lines being our take profit, we now have to consider a yellow line as a take profit one. Maybe leave a few lots in to write it down here, or let's write down what this or is, or entry upon close of candle over yellow line. That's for your re-entry or sell. Okay, that's for your re-entry. Okay. All right. All right. So gold. So funny. Gold is really for baby boomers. The older people talk a lot more about gold, how gold is and how important it is and all that kind of stuff. But I think gold is outdated. You can't really put a tangible asset on gold because I mean, it will always be worth something. People love to wear it, right? People love, make wedding rings out of it. And as long as, the world supports wedding rings, I see an importance for gold. And yes, it could be profitable, but, is it really, do we know how much gold is really available in the world? I mean, because a lot of people are buying into it, but all they have is certificates that they own gold and that it could possibly be there when they go to redeem it. But if the whole world, say the financial system breaks down, the whole world goes to collect its gold, do you think that they will be successful at it? Or will there be like some, will there be some robberies because now they're trying to drop the gold off and, and they're robbing the train to collect on its gold? Or do you think cryptocurrency would, kind of take that risk off your hands, given that one, it is accepted by most countries around the world. You can send it overseas. It takes seconds. The one thing about cryptocurrency is used for electricity. So if there's ever a blackout, like something like World War III blocks the sun, and these electric systems, I don't, if they're ran by solar power, I don't know. I'm just saying, it's kind of risky there, but until that happens, I believe that will be the only endangerment when it comes to cryptocurrency. One, even to get an altcoin or something outside of Bitcoin, like Ethereum, which is considered an altcoin, because Bitcoin is the main coin, right? But anything outside of Bitcoin is considered an altcoin, an alternative coin. And so you have Ethereum. We should talk about Ethereum. Most people know about Ethereum, or XRP, which is Ripple. And in order for anyone to embrace, okay, because they do go offline, they do get sold off. Wow, look at that gold really moving there. It does happen, right? But what an altcoin must be embraced by enough users, to miners, exchanges, networks. Okay, so that's really 1, 2, 3, 4, but I just said 1, 2, and then CD. But an altcoin must be embraced by enough users, miners, exchanges, and networks in order for it to be valid and in order for it to thrive. Okay, when that doesn't happen, then you're going to see a lot of them go offline. And I'm just going to switch over to what that looks like, because I have a crypto watch, and the blank spaces mean that they did not work out. They did not thrive. These are the cryptocurrencies that, you know, they didn't have enough of those 4 users, or maybe 1 out of 3, maybe all 4, but to sustain. So you're going to see those fail, and they did fall, you know, and all what happened is if I wasn't on it, the money was, yes, taken, deleted for people who were on it and was trading it. And then if there was anything remaining, it was sent and put back into my wallet. Okay. But here is, you know, here's a lot of the works. Anything blank tells you that it did not thrive, and I can actually almost get rid of those. I don't care about them anymore because I'm not watching them. They were not sustainable. But look at the price of this. You know, when you look at something called, you know, the Cellular network, it's 0.02. That's 2 cents. It's 2 cents. It's worth investing in, because you don't know if it's going to thrive or not. It's all about the use case. What is it being used for? What breakthrough technology that they find was lacking in the world, and that they could fix, and that their coin was best to be used for? Did they make up a whole system of reasons of why? Like Ethereum. Ethereum is like a building. They build upon Ethereum. That's where new people who are new companies or new business that are seeking a cryptocurrency coin, they go through Ethereum, and they build their network on Ethereum. And so there's a use case for Ethereum. And so that's why if you're going to invest in an altcoin, that's definitely Ethereum is that key. But to go back to what we were talking about, okay, because I have everything kind of broken down into categories here. But this is what I usually focus on a day-to-day basis. And so with gold, as you can see, it hit that low of that Monday. Now, is it risky for me to get in here? Yes, it is. But if I measure, I wouldn't want to consider getting into gold for an extension run until it passes this 2.618. This area right here is tricky area for me. I don't like trading between this area just because it could continue to go down. It can hit that, but it can bounce up. It can bounce up from here. There's like a 1.377, or 1.27 before it gets to the 1.618. But once it starts hitting your extensions, my point is, once it starts hitting your extensions, you want to play the extension. You're not going to even take in consideration what's happening with your indicators as far as being oversold and overbought, but you're going to be paying close attention to if your candle, same play, right? Entry upon close of candle over purple line, and you're going to continue in a sell. And then where's your take profit? Your next extension. And you're going to continue to play those extensions the same exact way as you would play any other color, right? It could continue to just drop. And I think for me, my last extension that I like to play to is the 4.618. That's when all risk is off the table for me, and I'm not looking to buy anymore. So this is my FINA. Final TP. Okay, that's the final TP. I don't really like to go any further. Even though it's there, I do find that sometimes they do go past, and I'm always amazed. But I just say, those are not my pips. Those are not my pips, and you have to be content with that. But look what's happening. 945 hit, and you have some type of push off, and you can see what all this is happening within that allotment that I don't like to play between, right? Just because it just draws confusion. It's a trap in a lot of cases. And you can see why. One, you have support level where price hit, kind of bounced off. You have your low of your Monday, which could have been a TP as it went through, because I would have played this on this candle alone, seeing that it closed over the yellow line, and I would have put in a sale. And I know this one opened up immediately afterwards. So you have to watch the lower time frames to see, hey, this is going to continue to sell, and boom, boom, boom. You have the bottom of that Monday. It's a trap. I love it because it falls in there, it just falls. If it's coming up, it just rises. You just have to play that one out as you see it. And I'll go more into that as we get one of those plays that appear in one of our trading sessions, okay? But long story short, let's see what else is out there. I know we talked a little bit about Ethereum just a little bit ago, and it's just stuck in the middle, just like Bitcoin. So all I would like to do is know when it moves. And it may move today, it may move tomorrow, it may move next week. And if you hadn't noticed, I know I talked a little bit about my yellow lines, which mean Monday. Did price really go anywhere? We had all this movement, fluctuation, but did price really go anywhere? It didn't. It stayed in the same area. It just confused you some. Okay, so until they drop below, it's back in the safety zone, you have no direction on what's going to happen next. There's no direction. I'm going to color coordinate that. I'm going to just tell myself, hey, this is an area that I would be interested in. I don't even care about my take profits just yet. I am going to focus on my entries. And this is my stop losses or my reversal pivotal points. Okay. And then I'll just set myself an alarm and say, hey, when it happens, it happens. 1957.41 for a buy opportunity. Okay. And then I'm going to set another alarm, and I'm going to say 1830, which is, I'm going to do a sell opportunity. Okay. And then I can also write myself a note, because you guys haven't gotten clicked in your head yet. I'm going to help you. Entry upon close of candle over green line for a buy. And for the bottom, entry upon close of candle for a close of candle over green line. So, okay. That's where we're at. We're stuck in the middle, so we'll see what else is going on. All right, GJ. Now, is this the Monday? I usually go through every Monday and determine. And no, this is the previous Monday. So I'm going to bring these in to enclose the Monday, because I only care about the first Monday and the current Monday that we're in. That determines what? The month and the week. Those are big charts. So I like to know what's happening in those charts. And as you can see, it ran up, it came back through our Monday, it's down the bottom, and then it goes back up. And I want to know if there's a harmonic pattern to be played off of this that's telling us, hey, this is a little key to determining whether you have something here. And it does. Look at that. You have a nice little trend line just based off of that harmonic pattern that is still valid after all this time, right? At least a couple of days worth, right? After all this time, it's still valid. Okay. Everything is still inside of that harmonic pattern. Now we go to the daily chart. There's even a bigger harmonic pattern. And the higher up you go, the more accurate they tend to be. The 15, I do enclose the ones in the 15-minute charts and the 15-second charts, because it's going to play within that harmonic pattern until it doesn't. It'll break out, it'll retest, and then it will continue to go in a direction. It may come back into the harmonic pattern, but you still have your areas of confluence or resistance outlined, which are the edges of the harmonic pattern that's telling me, hey, this is about trend line. This trend line you may want to consider in your trading plan, okay? And then now I'm going to go down to my 15-minute chart, and I'm going to determine if it's a play there that I can get into, because one, it's still inside of our Monday. Does it want to break out? I'm not sure, not yet. And then two, something as small as encasing. Come on. Something as small as encasing will tell me this is where we're at in the process. Always want to take into consideration Monday, but look, if it continues to go upward because we missed that initial play, it wouldn't have been much room for us to get in anyway. But hey, people are pretty savvy with lot sizes, so I never want to put it past anyone. But I have a take profit that's on the menu, and then there's a stop loss. So if it decides to turn back and not break above that Monday, I have a play for it to go the opposite direction, and then that opens up ability to sell. Okay, so entry upon close of candle over yellow. What happened? That means we got a buy opportunity. We're going to check that out right after we finish our word, our thought process. Okay, entry upon close of candle over yellow line for a buy. Okay, so if it breaks out, we can continue to go. But if it wants to turn back the other direction, we can sell. Entry upon close of candle over red for a sell. Okay, now I have to make sure I understand where I'm selling it to. Clone. Okay, all I'm doing is cloning, stacking, and measuring with my handy dandy Fibonacci tool. That is just above, right above. Let's make sure we know that. That's right above our yellow line. So if it turns back, we have a TP. Okay. Now, did I put my alert in here? I think I did, right? Did I? Alert. Let's do an alert real quick. Let me know 167.063 is hit for a buy opportunity. Okay. Also, let me know if 166.75357 is hit for a sale opportunity. Boom. Got it in case. A much smaller area, but I still don't have to wait on it because I have my alerts on. All right, let's see what's happening here. Ooh, is it going to give us a chance to get in? Now, there's a rule of thumb to this madness, okay? You have to wait on the 15-minute intervals. You have to wait. So 9:55 is where it's at now. We still have 5 minutes on this candle. And until, if it closes and doesn't give us much room to get in, that's okay. Okay, we're not going to chase the market. We're going to wait for it to come to us, and we're going to allow it to do its thing. Now, I'm not going to chase it, but I will do is because it's already filled so many boxes. Okay, I'm going to see where my extensions lie, because that just gives me another area. It's past our 2.618. We didn't get into the game until this was completed, which it just completed. And I'm going to color coordinate my extensions as purple. I like to know where I'm at in the process. And I might go all the way up to 5.618. It might just be a run. I'm going to wait because you see how it can go so far and then it can pull back within 4 minutes. Okay. You see that wick? So many people got psyched out just off that engulfing candle. And they're like, oh, I'm going to buy. And then now it's just pulling back those little bit of funds that they may have gotten, but not enough time to close. And all we're doing is just waiting to see if it continues to give us a signal to play. And when I say play, buy in this market, because at this point, I no longer care because it's past my 2.618 area. I no longer care about my blue lines or making boxes unless I'm looking for a reversal. I'm going to play this market if it closes over this purple line. So my new entry is here. And instead of it being green, I'm going to say I'm going to be willing to buy if it closes over this purple line. My boxes now are good for reversals, planning the reversals, but as far as buying, it's already past this 2.618. It hit the 3.618 take profit had I been playing in it. And then now I'm looking to play it from 3.618 to 6.618. And that's only if the green candle that is, closes over the purple line. But you see how it's pulling back? You see how it's pulling back? The fake so many, but it grabbed my liquidity. So I will be interested in seeing it reverse. But remember, this is our second time. So that would be going against my own little, rules. And you don't want to play against your rules, okay? Because this is the second one. I already hit TP. And I have to remind myself every time that this box is complete. It's complete, just complete. There's nothing else I can do with that box. It's already taken take profit once. Second time is a gamble. Okay. And I no longer care about this green line. Let's go to my alerts. Go to the buying opportunity, and I'm going to move it up to 40.91. Okay. Because I no longer care. All right. So got 1 more minute to see what exactly is it doing, anything doing in the market. Here's Bitcoin, still no movement. I guess it has all eyes on Bitcoin. Let's see what gold's doing. Gold is still ricocheting off of that momentum. So we can honestly follow gold by loaning. But everything is going to be tricky now that it's inside of a safe haven, aka Monday. That's my yellow line. High, low, okay, of Monday. But if it comes out, here's opportunity to buy. There's opportunity for TP. And then opportunity to buy. Boom. Okay. Opportunity. Okay. So I just leave myself a note. Entry upon close of candle over red line for a 5. What is that? What happened? GJ, let's go see what you're doing, GJ. Let me finish my thought. For a buy. Okay. And then this will be deepening. All right, so let me just send myself an alert. Boom, boom, boom. 1991382. Set buy up. Okay. It continues to go downward. We have our selling opportunity where we are now watching for a that's so 1967.166, where we're watching for an extended play because we are now in the purples. So it's a sell opportunity. Okay. Let me know when it happens. All right, GJ, what did you do? Ooh, GJ. All right, let's wait. We still got a whole 13 minutes left on this candle. Let's see if it's, let's look at our indicators. Our indicators are already over bought. Look like there's still some momentum to go up. This one is over bought. Well, not even over bought, but this tells us that we're ranging in a buy above the 60% range, where the RSI, the green line, is above it. That tells us that we're ranging. And it's a possibility that we can actually get in on this. It's very risky because we didn't let the candle close, but because it's so close to the 10 o'clock, there is a possibility that we don't have to. It did break out the Monday, but that's me going against my own advice. Let's see. We have a reversal sign right here. The candles drop into within there. Well, then that makes us below Monday again and leaves us with a wick on a higher time frame. So we're going to see how this plays out. Let's see how this plays out. You see that? Hit it again. Not quite sure it wants to continue to go. Is it going to drop into our depth zone? We call this a BTS. I learned that from this wording from a class I took to learn this method, but we're going to go a little bit over this, especially in the because I cover it in the strategy cards that have not yet been released. But it's a reversal method that says, hey, if the candlesticks drop within the zone and it decides to come out of the zone and go upward, we have a good buy. But if it comes into the zone, comes out, retests and tries to go downward, then it's now a sell. But we do have our last, because we're on the 15-minute chart, we do have our last hope of saving. Obviously, it's coming up against our stop loss had we gotten in here, but there's so much room to grow that I think it's going to come out and continues to rise, and we can actually take profit at that 167. So I'm going to put a very small lot size. I'm actually going to put a small lot size and then watch and see what it does. I have a stop loss. I'm not going to play scared. Okay. Start trade. Let's see. It's kind of scary, right? It's kind of scary. Let's see. This is getting bigger. Oops. Came back, hit. Let's see. It's the best time. It hasn't came in yet. Still trying to drop. If my crosses are now switched over to where my red crossed over my blue. Looks like it's still trying to pick up. My green is still below my 50, which tells me it's more in the selling position than a buying position. I have a sell indicator, which is red above blue because red means sell, blue means buy. And now we have 9 minutes left on our candlestick to determine if we truly want to get in this. And I'm just going to switch back to our 15-minute because look, we're left with a wick. So it may or may not. It's really at a tough space. So I actually take all that back and decide not to get into this play, just because it doesn't look like the best opportune time. So let's see what's happening with some of our other. You can see a guy here. They decided not to close over our purple line. We're not ready yet. Okay, we got some movement on Bitcoin, but not enough to even get into this area of confluence to say, hey, we want to do anything more. Let's see what's happening with gold. Gold hasn't broken out of its Monday. It got trapped. It's trapped. So until it breaks out of that Monday and then goes to an area where we can actually play, which is our red line, we can't buy up. Let's see what Ethereum is doing. Ethereum still stuck in the middle and still stuck inside of this Monday. Back to GJ. GJ still left us with a wick. We're not ready. And so happy I've seen that. And that played out. That played out before I even got a chance to get in. All right, let's see. All right, we have a Monday play with USD JPY. USD JPY. You probably hear my little baby in the background. I am an at-home mom. All I do is trade. All right. All right, so finish that box. See what happened. And it got here to finish this box. It stop right at our green. Could be pulling back. Could be pulling back at our sell possibly. A lot of resistance. Maybe too risky. There's just too much going on here. It's not even not something I would. It's not clean enough for me. It's just way too much resistance. I mean, honestly, the more resistance, the greater the risk. Like you have your 800 here. That's a very powerful EMA. You see that it broke through. It could be a possible retest versus a complete thought. Now, I can see it reaching down here and maybe trying to collect a little something, but it's just not enough there for me to want to do. You have your bottom of your Monday, resistance. You have before it can even get to a TP, which is here. Now it's probably good because you can see here it hit a ceiling. And we'll see. Let's let this candle close. See if it wants to continue to go. And we can pop in there with a little icky lot size and take it to here. And then close the rest of it out here. Let's watch it. All right. GJ keeps pinging us. Let's see what's happening with GJ. GJ, you still have 5 minutes left on our radar. You still have 5 minutes left on our radar. Okay. So with that said, I also want to go over a few things as far as why do I believe so much in cryptocurrency. If I have enough time before my son here really doesn't allow us to do much more than what we've done, given that he's starting to get cranky. But I want you to look at another bank failure that's coming into play. It's called FRB. Okay. It's the First Republic Bank. Okay, First Republic Bank. And if I was to look at this from a daily chart, maybe even a monthly. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You see this? It had a steady growth period and then bam. Now it's down to $6.32 from $22, from $222, $222. And how long did it take it to fall that much? My goodness, right? So when did this happen? It peaked in November 21, November 21, so 2 years ago. Wow. And then it's just December, January, February, March, April, over this last year, it's been going down, okay? It's been going down. And now here's February, but then March. What happened in March that made it, bounce up so much or bounce down so much? Wow, this is bank failures. The signs are here. Banks are going out of style. Now, I don't want to believe it just as much as anybody else, but JP Morgan Chase, I want to see what's happening here too. But JP Morgan, oops. But JP Morgan Chase. Okay. It's not as much of a drop off as anything else. I believe JP Morgan is definitely a strong bank, but wow, this is, you still see a lot more red than you do see green. Currently, it hit halfway mark. If you were to measure this like anyone else, you get that pump. That bounced off, hit the 50% range. And that's a sign it could be a continuation into a sell-off. But I guess we will have to see that. We got 2 more minutes on that GJ, guys. We got 2 more minutes. And then I'm going to end with that after we get done here. So let's watch and see what happens and see if it's a great opportunity for us to buy into, or did we just see another rejection and we have to wait? And the market will ping us when it's ready. And we just have to ping us. Okay. So I'm going to keep it here for the next 2 minutes. Oh, look, SPX, they're saying, hey, there might be a buy opportunity on this side. Looks like, oh, and that will be an extension play. So we can buy and close over that purple line. And as long as it doesn't immediately open to a red line, ooh, is it going to give us some time to get in there? We got 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Give us some time to get in there. We're interested in playing this, okay? And it just may go all the way up to the 5618, where I believe this 800 will be moving closer as it pulls it down. Oh, it's not going to give us a chance to get in there. Look at it. Look at it. Well, it just finished our box. We don't care because you weren't interested in it, but we do want some of this money here. 1 more minute, guys. 1 more minute isn't going to give us a chance to get in there. Come on, pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. I want some of that. Pull it on back. Pull it on back. We got 18 seconds. 17, 16. Oh no, pull it back. Give me some of that. Give me some. Leave some room for me. Leave some. Okay. We got 3 seconds. 2, 1. It opened up above. Let's see. 15 seconds. It's not enough room. I mean, you can jump in there, but your spread is going to eat that up. And they knew that. They knew that. Oh, they knew that. They knew that. We would need this to pull back just a little bit. And as long as it doesn't hit this line, it will give us an opportunity to jump into there. Okay. So let's see what happens. It just needs just a little bit down. It's going to hit. It's going to hit, you guys. It's going to hit. It's just not enough room for me to actually feel so comfortable in getting into that because I want more. Okay, look, it didn't hit it yet. It looks like it might pull back. If it comes into this zone and it pushes back upward, I'm in there. I'm in there. Okay, I'm in there. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. Come on. No, it's gonna do it. Yeah, it's gonna do it. It's gonna get there. It's just pushing it there. I'm not even gonna. I'm so dumbfounded. Let's just watch it. It's almost there. SPX SPX. Is he? Oh, look! Oh! Drop off! Drop off! Come on back here. Let me get some of that. It's gonna confuse the people that don't know how to play this because it didn't take profit. Didn't take profit. Here we go. I'm just through. Let's see what GJ just did. Oh, GJ closed over our line. And it's a buy. It's a buy. I'm taking it to 167. Take profit 167.3. Okay. Now we can just play it, wait for it to close. We do have our areas of stop loss. We want to see not just for the ticket because we got time to watch it. If I don't have time to watch it, I would set it and forget it, but I will be looking for the same thing for stop loss as I would for entry. It would be entry upon close of candle over red line will signal a sell, right? And that's not wicking, no wicks. We wait for 15-minute intervals, 15-minute intervals to decide whether to close candlestick. But it will represent our stop loss. Okay. Now, let's just wait. Let's wait. It's in this area. Let's see if it's going to fall where it comes out. It comes out on the bottom. It's going to have to retest. It's going to come down. And then you have to, this is the reason why lot sizes make so much sense. Because one, you want to make sure that you have a reasonable enough lot size that won't kick you out off of one trade. If one trade hits stop loss, you want to make sure that you can hold it because you have enough and a balance, enough margin to be able to sustain that drop. So here we're just waiting for it to play out. Let's see what happens. Is it going to come out the bottom? If it's going to come out the top, the bottom is a signal that it's selling, but a full reversal is when it closes and drops below this 800. And that signals a sell. And now, can we get our money back? Absolutely, with the reversal. So I should never lose any money because if I do lose, I can get it right back by switching it up by saying, hey, entry upon close of candle over red line. Now, there are times definitely play with you. The market can play with you and get you all confused. And then if none of your plays are working out, you stop for the day. Get out the market for the day because someone in there is driving the market and they are no longer just depending on the computer system to do it all for them, right? There's somebody that took over manually and said, bump in a row, let me avoid that, go up. You know what I mean? Because that's what happens when they want to take your money. They can manipulate the market. And so whenever that happens, I'm out for the day. I'm done. I don't care no more about it. So now we're just waiting through the 15. Unless this opens up as a piercing and closes below our Monday, we no longer are interested. But at this point in time, we're just waiting. We're in it, and I'm going to watch it. It's like paint drying. That's why I like to switch to the 15-second over the 15-minute. But here we are. We have 10 minutes left of this candle. Let's see what happens. See what happened with some of these other cryptocurrencies. Ooh, this one didn't even quite make it all the way. Look at that. This is high risk, guys. That time this 15-minute candle blew out, it was high risk. Go hasn't yet made it out of its Monday. Ethereum hasn't picked a direction. It's still kind of trapped in this Monday. Yeah, it is. And it has a big direction up or down. What did I just click off of? DJ is playing. Let's see what happens. I gotta wait for that next candlestick to open. Can't get scared unless it shows that it wants to go the opposite direction, which we have identified on the bottom. There's that BTS. It looks like it's closing in. But which direction is it going to pop out? That's the question. Which direction is it going to pop out? Is it going to pop out at the top and continue to go upward? Or is it going to pop out at the bottom? And then in that case, we're looking for a test, a retest. And when I say top and bottom, that means aqua is the top. And the bottom is the white. And then below this is a sale. We don't want to see that happen. We want to see a take profit. We can watch our indicators. Nice. I like that they're at the bottom. That means there's room for it to grow and go upward. And all we're doing is just watching it. Paint dry, paint dry. It can get so boring. Believe me, if it's not boring, then you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. A lot of people would have lost their mind. One, if it pulled back on them when they're in there as a buy, they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm confused. I'm sure a lot of you would be. But until you understand the breakdown and the market structure, market method, that this is all a part of the game to confuse you, and that you stay strong until one of your indicators tell you that it's no longer sustainable, then you don't get out. You have to go through the rocket. And sometimes you're negative more than you actually profit. Oh my God. I've done that plenty of times where it just went negative. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm waiting for my last area to hit and all these to come into effect before I decide if I'm going to get out. And then, then it just pops up and goes the opposite direction and then goes and takes my take profit. So yeah, that does happen. But because I know what I'm looking at, I'm knowing how I'm playing the game. Like I said, this BTS area is really, really worth it. It breaks through, it comes out the other direction. It wants to retest and continue to go downward. We have our last area where we're willing to save it at. If the candlestick closes over our red line, it signals more of a sell than a buy. And we close that current trade and we go for a sell. And then we take that down to its TP of the next red line. So altogether, you get your money back. You get your money back, or break even, maybe make a little bit more, depends. It's just a waiting game. Let's just see how it plays out. But I'm happy you guys were able to trade live with me and we actually get in the trade. I love that we're able to teach, but then we're also able to take an example. Next, I want to definitely focus on how to put a trade into your MetaTrader 4, because a lot of people are not don't know how to trade using MetaTrader 4, which is the best device or the best app I've ever had. I actually almost considered getting rid of Apple when they got rid of the app because it is Russian owned. And I was trying out an Android, and it was just too different. It's like when you get used to one way of things, and then my whole family is all connected to FaceTime, used to FaceTime me and everything like that. You kind of don't want to switch things up. So that's what made me jump back onto the Apple train. That and I had Apple Pay. So again, this is all we're doing. We're just waiting. As you can see, it's starting to buy up again. It came into that zone here. It came out. It went upward. It's not giving us room to caution it going the opposite direction, at least not yet. Now it can drop. It can drop. But again, it's all about which direction it comes out. And then if I'm willing, because I am willing, to allow it to come and hit a stop loss, or even show that it actually changed direction overall. So this is a great time to plug in some of the terminology I used today was margin. Some of the terminology I used today was altcoins. I also used what are users and miners, exchanges, networks, different. What are the Ethereum? What is ETH used for? I have a lot of information covering these terminologies, and it kind of give you a nice little breakdown of what it is each of them mean and what is it used for and what does it do at www.piponomics.store. Okay, and that's our cryptocurrency package that will break all of that down for you and then some. Okay. All right. All right, it's back in our zone. Reason to caution. But if I was playing with a really stupid lot size and it came out the other side and decided that it retested and wanted to go the opposite direction, I would caution. I would caution. But because I play with a sustainable lot size that can hold the drawdown, I leave it alone. Hence the difference. I like that. I see that it's at the bottom of our zone, our buy zone, because our blue is above our red. So it says buying. A nice little area right here is that our green is crossing our yellow. I love that. That means that it's buying upward. Dip back in there, absolutely. But at this point, it's telling me that it crossed and that it has the momentum to buy. It crossed again. Do that. But we're in it. Yes, there we go. It was just a nick. You see that? Hopefully you can see it. I know when I go to play these things back, I'm like half blind. I must really like you guys because honestly, I'm supposed to be at the gym right now. Working out. Got to get this mom bod back in shape. Yeah, and indicators can be confusing. And I cover indicators. This part will be covered what is, the stochastics or the RSI, what's considered buying and selling opportunity. I cover this in the HFX, which is high frequency. Okay. Great area, great use of information to learn, to understand, indicators better, because, it's one thing to have them, but it's another thing to understand them. And I definitely will be covering some tutorials over it on our YouTube channel to go more into depth. But at this moment, we're just watching. We're just watching to see what happens. And you can see that our box is starting to get a little bit smaller. If I adjust it, and now I have to take it upward a little bit. And so it can give you an indication that it could possibly be collapsing before it continues to want to go up. But like I said, my last level is here. Oh, and it's 10:30. We passed that 10:30 mark. Let's see what happened. All right, it's still got a couple of bars down. Doesn't quite want to come back into Monday. And I just may want to look for some more buys. So we just added another 15 minutes, 12 minutes at this point onto our paint drying moment, where things happen so slow. And all you want to do is just look at other stuff. That's it. Let's watch the paint dry. Let's watch the paint dry. Let's see what's happening with some of these other, because if you sit here and you'll just go crazy, right? So let's go 15 minutes. DJ is still playing with us in this area. Let's see what happens with SPX. SPX, yep, they're going back up to collect what's left on the market. 15. Let me show you an example of what I mean. Okay, so you see, that's it. It got closed. Did it get closed? Yes, it did. Okay. So there's the area that it got closed at. This is where it stopped at, right? When that last candle stopped, right? It stopped somewhere in this area, right? And so we actually, when you look at it from this side, no, there we go. But when we look at this, it looks like we got a lot left, but no, we don't. It's just, I had it covered up there. We would have taken, our TP is at this purple line, right? TP. And it popped up. It didn't quite make it over to the TP of the measurement. It came into, remember that aqua and that white line that we were watching on GJ? It came into it only to pop out, okay? So we would have been panicking, thinking, oh, it's not going to make it there. And then it pops out. Now, these extension levels and the Fibonacci tool and everything is pretty accurate. So I tend to wait and let it play out before I start getting all emotional. Only time I get emotional is when my lot size is too high and I can't quite hold the trade, or I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with the gain and how much I'm getting at that time. But at this time, it came in a few times to our area and until it crossed over from it being underneath it. See, it came, see how the candles were underneath it at one point. It came above, it did some more retest, it just broke up further. This would have been a TP area. And then it just continues to kind of ride that 800 because it doesn't want to break below it. And then, so as many times as it's gone down here to test that blue, the blue EMA, it would have definitely satisfied or made me panic. But until you get closure over your blue EMA, you really don't have a reason to panic. All you're doing is waiting for it to finish its play. So it came down plenty of times before into the zone. Like I said, we may not have a lot of time to watch. I probably give you about another 10:45 before I kind of adjust. I usually only trade, but because again, I've skipped the gym today and have time, and I'll just go a little bit later. But we're just waiting for it to close and take profit here. We're not in this one currently because it ran and it didn't really give us enough room to get in. But then here's the area that I was waiting for to pull back in order to get in and then buy up. But because I wasn't watching it and we were watching GJ, because that's what we're currently in, we missed that opportunity to get back into this market. And we're just waiting for it to signal another buy. And what is signaling another buy? Well, it has entry upon close of candle over purple line for a buy. And then once that closes, here's your TP, your next extension, TP. Purple. We're following purple to purple. Okay. So this one hasn't completed yet. Some people like to stay in the trade and just, take some lots off at a time. Some take some profit at a time and then let it ride a little bit, because there's no guarantee that it's going to make it all the way up. But in our case, we prefer to take profit at each line and then get back in as it signals to do it, as it signals to do so. So here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it's rising, and on the lower time frames, it's all choppy. So I prefer to look at it on the 15-minute. It hasn't quite gotten to our areas of confluence where we are interested in buying at. This is from a previous day, which is no longer valid for the current day. And we're looking at current day. Let's see. Is it going to buy? Does it want to buy? Well, it's going to signal and let us know when it's ready to buy. How about gold? Gold is still trapped in that Monday. How about Ethereum? Ethereum is still trapped in Monday. Hasn't quite made a clear cut run to the top or to the bottom. GJ, let's just look and see what it's doing. Ooh, it turned green on us. How about that? That ugly little candle, red candle, has turned green and it's on its way up. You see, a little patience do wonders, okay? A little patience will do wonders. I think at one point we were looking at USDJPY, right? Yes, we were. And here on USDJPY, we were interested, which there's no alert for some reason, in 134, 182. And that's a buy opportunity. We already scoped out where we want to see that take place. It can obviously go downward as well. So because it's already taken liquidity, I want to know if it hits 134.053. And that's more of a sell opportunity. And we're playing red to red. Red to red. Well, actually, this will be your first TP. Remember, Monday? Don't play with Mondays. Don't play with Mondays. If it comes between you and your take profit, TP1. And your next TP will be your red. If you want to take some of your, if you didn't take all your profit here, you can take some of it and let it ride to here. But remember, you got a lot of confluence here, so we can nick that and not even make it to here. So this would be a less riskier move to take all your profits. Now let's see what's going on with GJ. GJ still running. That's it. Oh, I can get rid of it. 15 seconds, see what's happening as it moves up and down. It's almost there. Let me see what I'm making. The baby is going to give you just a little bit more time to get it together. It's almost there. Okay. We're almost there. Okay. So with that said, I wish we could stay on and let this ride out, but I would love for you to kind of give me your feedback in the, give me your feedback in the messages or in the comments, actually. And let me know, what did you think about class today? And if you learned anything, okay? I hope you learned a lot, and I look forward to trading life with you again, Forex and cryptocurrency analysis. Thank you for watching Piponomics. Again, visit us at www.piponomics.store for your pack today.